And we are recording. So Unit 2, Unit 1 was the perspective, this is Unit 2. We talked about this tree, and the tree has a structure. I'm going to go back through this structure really briefly with the drawing I did yesterday. So some of the things we talked about, can we all see fairly well? Good. So some of the things we talked about is marking our pencil, giving ourselves our measurement. We said about 3.5 for the trunks and about 3 across. 1, 2, 3 across. And you can see I'm using a little mark there. You can use make a little hash on it with your fingernail, which is where we get those. A hash is a mark, right? Rulers have those. And we have it kind of structured in. Another thing we're talking about in this lesson was the proportions, the shape, width of the trunk, shape of the trunk, everything should be within reason and proportion. And then of course we break it down into a series of steps. And this next one, we are going to be doing this sheet here. Now I don't have a drawing of the sheet here. You're going to be drawing the display. And we're going to start with a basic shape. I'm going to walk you through this. Don't draw what I'm doing. I'm doing it really for the recording more than anything else. Draw what you see here. I'm going to start out in Sharpie of what I see. So the shape, I'm still drawing this here. You're going to draw it from your point of view. If you want to follow me along and draw what I'm drawing, that is fine. But first thing we're going to do is lightly in pencil. And because it's going to be light, I'm going to use a colored dry erase marker. We're going to draw the structure. You can choose to not do the whole thing. You don't have to do the whole thing. You can take a portion of it. But once you choose that portion as your subject, stick to that. So I'm going to choose just the kind of the top portion here. So I'm going to just do those. The next thing, here's the next level of this basic shape. I see the structure of this. I'm going to sketch this so you can see what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the structure here. It's kind of like this, okay? And realize you guys have kind of a reverse of what I'm seeing. You can see this on the screen, hopefully. This is kind of what I'm looking at. This is the back side of it. But you can kind of see that that's probably the shape up there, right? Here is part of this lesson. Angles. Angles. You can hold your pencil away from you and you can make that shape. You can look at your display and hold it up to your demonstration. So like this. It's not going to be on camera, whatever. You hold it away. Arm's length, we like to do that. Arm's length, and it's on a platform like it's on a plate glass in front of you. And you make that angle. Close one eye, see that angle of the material, whatever that is. Look at those angles. And holding that away from you, seeing that, and then mimicking those angles on your page. So this angle is pretty good. This angle should be a little bit more vertical. That is fine. This is forgiving, kind of like the tree is forgiving. It's cloth. When we get into other things like drawing instruments or something like that, they're not very forgiving. They look either right or wrong. Cloth looks like cloth. So it's hanging this way. I should actually have this angle drawn more vertically. It's actually more like that. So you're going to sketch out a basic shape based on those angles. Take your time with it. There's no hurry. I'm going to do it in Sharpie so we have an example. But you just choose a portion. I'm just choosing this top portion from here because I can see that well. If you want to do the whole thing, that's fine. If you just wanted to do this section over here, that's fine. Just pick a spot. Huh? The drape. The drape. You can also follow me along if you want. You can do my drawing if you want to just do my drawing.
Please excuse interruption.
Yep.
Oliver Parsons to the front office.
Just the drape, and we're just gonna start with a nice line drawing of it. Light sketches, yes, and measure those angles. And then repeat those angles on your paper. And like I said, I'm just doing the kind of top portion here. If you want to make a straight line with a pencil, how do you do that? You use your arm, and you'll notice even on the page here, I'm just using my arm. go. And this is great because it's all permanent and it's like done in Sharpie. That's okay. Okay, so when you're drawing cloth, you may simplify. Do not add stuff that's not there. You can remove things that aren't there, like wrinkles and stuff. You can simplify those out. I don't mind. That is fine. But do not add wrinkles for the sake of wrinkles. It's just going to make your life harder. And it doesn't look great. It's going to add a few folds. There's a certain number that you really have to have for it to even look like a cartoon of it. I'm all messed up here on the top. Messing up is fine. Of course, I'm going to do this again in graphite so you guys can see that. Huh? You draw the whatever you want to, just stick to it. If you do the structure, stick to that. And whatever you're drawing should mostly fill your page. Your drawing should take up 60 to 80% of your page. Not 100%, you should have a little margin around it, but around 60 to 80%. I'm going to come back on this with, do this again, but in graphite, because I want you guys to be doing this in graphite. Here's the top. Something's on that pencil. I didn't hear you. What? The next bit? The next thing we do? So once we've got it lined out, we're going to start adding shading to it. So where it's dark, we make it dark. I'm going to use the side of my pencil, and I'm going to see, we start doing kind of lines that are swaths of shading. So I've got this area underneath here. This is a shaded section from my point of view. And I'm going to need something more firm than this. I'm going to use a clipboard here. It'll work just fine. There we go. You don't want too much padding under your page, otherwise it doesn't create enough resistance for your pencil. There we go. So just staying put. I'm going to adjust that there. There are many ways to shade. You do not always have to use the same one. We're just using the overhand. You can use cross hatching too, if you're comfortable with that. Whoops. That pencil was too sharp anyway. So what we're doing with our shading, don't blend to begin with. Do not blend. Use dark and light. You're just really going to go contrast with your shade to begin with, and then we will add that in between. So you kind of want to leave your lightest and get your dark as you think you're going to want it, or close to that, and then we'll layer up. Piper, do you need help? Why aren't you drawing? If you need help, I'm happy to help. But I don't think any of us should be done doing the shading yet. And if you need to start over, go ahead and start over. I haven't done any smearing yet. I'm just using the side of the pencil to create a smoothed effect. Smearing can happen, or smudging can happen, I think, later. Get your basic values on there. Otherwise, we end up getting our fingers really dirty and creating a really messy drawing. Once you kind of get roughed out, keep looking back at your display, your subject, and see where you can improve your drawing. And kind of go in, and you want to go in with a detailed eye, and just keep evaluating it until you feel like you've got it to where you like it. And a lot of times, even in a picture you're done with, you know, you leave it for a day or two and you come back and take a look at it and see if you like it and see if it looks right. So I'm going to have you guys do this again from beginning to end if you're done. This was the lesson. Put your name on that, and notice the name is in the picture. It is 9/13/23. Good. So this would be lesson 5. I will stop recording now.